About 65% of the construction industry uses scaffolds. When assembled, used, and maintained correctly, scaffolds can be safe. What up, workforce? I'm Destry with JJ Safety, and today's episode is called Don't Get Baffled by the Scaffold. Accidents on scaffolds can cause everything from lacerations to traumatic brain or spinal cord injuries and even death. There are roughly 60 to 100 fatalities a year from scaffold accidents and thousands of injuries. The biggest cause of fatalities is falling. A good way to avoid falls is fall protection. According to OSHA, fall protection must be used on scaffolds 10 feet or more above a lower level. Fall protection on scaffold can be a guardrail system, personal fall arrest system, or both depending on the type of scaffold being used. Guardrails and toe boards shall be installed on all open sides and ends of scaffolding platforms 6 feet or more above a ground or floor level. If there is no guardrail system in place, then a personal fall arrest system should be used. Now here's some shocking information. Scaffolds and energized lines don't mix. Erecting, relocating, and working on scaffolds requires workers to maintain safe distances from power lines. Clearance between the power lines and scaffolds should always be monitored. If a scaffold is to be moved in the vicinity of overhead power lines, a competent person should be assigned to observe the clearance and warn others if the minimum distance is not maintained. When working around insulated power lines, scaffolds must be at least 2 feet from lines less than 300 volts and 10 feet from lines 300 volts or more in all uninsulated power lines. Let's talk about who slaps these things together. Assembling and disassembling scaffolds must be done by a competent person. This is someone who identifies existing and potential hazards and has the authority to correct the hazard. A competent person must also inspect the scaffolding prior to each work shift and after any occurrence which could affect the scaffold's structural integrity. Never use a scaffold that has not been inspected and signed off. What if someone has the dropsies? Gravity is a hidden serial killer just waiting for you to be a silly McDummy pants and kick or drop something off a scaffold onto Smarty McSmarty pants who happens to be wearing his hard hat. In addition to wearing hard hats at all times, workers should be provided with additional protection from falling objects through the installation of toe boards, screens, guardrail systems, nets, catch platforms, or canopy structures that contain or deflect falling objects. Here are some additional safety precautions. All employees who access scaffolding must receive training from their employer. Never exceed the capacity of a scaffold. An access ladder, stair tower, or equivalent safe access must be provided for scaffolding. Do not use a ladder or other device on a scaffolding platforms to increase height or reach. And never use scaffolding until it is inspected and signed off by a competent person. There's still a few things we can cover in scaffolds, but today we know to use fall protection, watch out for energized lines, never use a scaffold that has not been inspected or assembled by a competent person, and hard hats are our friend. Now you're no longer baffled by the scaffold. Always follow your company's policies and procedures.
For more information, visit us online at jjsafetyllc.com or call us at 866-627-3850.